Hello, my friends. Will Mitchell from Startup Bros here. And if you are trying to start an Amazon or an e-commerce business, then you know that there's a lot of different ways to find potential suppliers and manufacturers for your products. But sometimes you want to know the exact supplier that another seller is using. Whether you're researching a new product to launch and know exactly the type of quality that you're going for, or whether you're up and running and you just want to spy on your competitors and figure out what prices they're getting and what kind of profit margin they have, the method I'm going to show you today is going to allow you to pull the exact import records for all of your competitors and all of their suppliers.
That's amazing.
This tactic is going to allow you to spy on every other seller out there, see exactly who their suppliers are, how their business works. You can even use this data when you're first getting started to gain extra negotiating leverage and work your minimum order quantity down lower. So how is all of this possible? You see, when anyone imports a physical product into the United States with a sea shipment, they're required to file what's called a bill of lading with U.S. Customs. And the bill of lading has a whole lot of information that most companies would prefer to keep private. But all of this data within the US government is technically public records. And people have been able to file freedom of information requests to get all of that US Customs data out. And thanks to some clever entrepreneurs, there's now software available where you can search through this entire database of formerly private information. There's 5 or 6 different tools for this now. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. You can also search for suppliers and pull up all of the different shipments that any supplier is doing into the United States. And this is really useful no matter where you're at in your business. If you're just getting started, you can use this information to figure out just how low of a minimum order quantity can you push with any given manufacturer. And you can also use this information to verify some of the claims that suppliers are making to you. And if you're already up and running, you can see just how big of a client are you to your manufacturer and how much negotiating leverage do you really have. Now, this isn't like an actual espionage operation, so we do have some limitations on the data that we're able to pull and what we're able to do with it. For instance, this data only exists for sea shipments being imported into the United States. And even then, companies can fairly easily just pass their imports through different LLCs and shell companies and really hide a lot of this trading activity. You can also just send an email to Customs Border Patrol and request that your company's information be kept confidential and out of all of these public records. But you'd be surprised at how few companies actually send this email. And because of that, most companies' information is freely available in these databases for you to look at. So lucky for us, there is still a ton of data out there for us to get better deals and make better decisions within our companies. Some of the paid tools like Import Genius and Import Key will actually allow you to get a pretty good amount of data out for free. So if you're just getting started, you're probably going to want to use those quite a bit. And if you ever decide to upgrade, these paid tools are freaking cool. Panjiva is the ultimate trade analytics platform, and it does some truly incredible things, but it costs $400 a month. So for anyone just getting started, your best option is probably to use the free information that's available from these paid tools, and also take a look at Jungle Scout, who about a year ago released a supplier research tool that gives you access to all of this same information. So you're not going to get some of the fancy dashboards and features that these really expensive paid tools will give you, but you are going to get access to the data that you actually need to make better decisions and get better deals inside of your business. So let me take you through a real world example of how you would actually do this. So I recently had a journalist reach out to me and asked to dig up a bunch of information about a company called Tonic. I guess the journalist was suspicious of how they grew on Amazon and just wanted to know how this company worked. So the first thing I did was hopped onto the actual Amazon listing to figure out what is the legal name of the company. Sometimes you might have to dig a little further to find the legal name of the company. You can look throughout their company website, especially their privacy policy and terms of service. You can type in their UPC codes into the GS1 database and look up the company that way sometimes. And if you know the people that are involved with the company, you can go through LLC records and try to figure it out that way. But once you have the legal name of the company, it's fairly easy to pull up all of the import records associated with it. So step 2 is to just take that legal name that we found and type that into Jungle Scout's supplier research tool. This already is going to pull up a ton of useful information for us. We can see what kind of products they've been importing, how often they've been importing it, how much, and then we can even dig into each individual supplier and start to see all of the different sellers that are using these manufacturers. Even if you pay the $39 a month for Jungle Scout to see all of this information, I would still go through Google to pull up the import records that exist in all of these paid tools as well. And the way to do this is just search Google for the company's legal name, followed by keywords like import records, bill of lading, or US Customs. This should bring up a good amount of information from these paid tools. And as you can see here, you'll often find extra information across all of these different tools. So I like to go through and pull up all the records I can with both Jungle Scout and using Google. And then once you have all of the records that you have access to, you can start digging. You can use this method to find specific suppliers that you're dying to work with because you love their quality, or you can use this to spy on your competitors and figure out what their profit margins are and how much money they're making. There's a ton of different uses for this. I just went through in my previous video how to use these records to pull HS codes and get accurate estimates of what your duties, tariffs, and taxes are going to be when importing any product. So this is super useful information, and now that you guys know how to get your hands on it, I am confident you are going to put it to good use. So hopefully this video helps you guys. Give me a like if it did. Subscribe to the Startup Bros channel if you want more content like this. And guys, the StartupBros.com website has tons of guides on how to start this business and many other businesses that are working for people right now to escape the 9-to-5 grind. Guys, leave your questions below. I'll be answering them down there, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.